I guess I really do need to make a part two. But getting back to what I was saying, her sovereignty, her independence, that's been exalted. And getting back to what I was saying is that has you can call it social programming, you can call it social engineering, but it doesn't matter. It's a part. But if a black man goes out and is successful in the world, he is for some reason contractually obligated that he never written to come back to the community. And if he doesn't, he's a sellout. Like he has to come back to the community to bring what he has done, what he has learned to the community. And even though there are some black men who do that, we seem to minimize their efforts over the black women who do that. And if they don't do that, that's also fine. Let her live her life, let her do her thing. And my thing is when it comes to accountability, black men have never dodged it. We've been branded on it. And it's always bothered me. I mean, and as a man in general, we have never been able to dodge accountability, even though if you listen to a feminist, they always say all, they always put the all brand, always put the all paintbrush all over us. You know, it's all men, and it's even sucks when you break it down by category. So for black women, it's all black men that treat me wrong, even though their environment probably didn't produce respectable, moral black men, and if it did, then they weren't highly attracted to them. Like I wrote a whole book about this. I wrote a whole page about this and everything, and it really bothered me. I was going to read from the script. I'm gonna read from some of it to be quite honest. Um, Hold on. Like I really had to write this down and get my. Here's a. Um, the. You know what? I don't want to say this shit. I don't want to say this shit because I've already made my point and I'm losing time. So I really gotta make this quick. Um, when black men fuck up individually, they put that as the group. I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times the group of black men had been colloquially demonized by the few bad ones or propaganda from the media, and yet we continue to say black men need to do more without analyzing that type of programming. Black women will look to celebrities, will look to criminals, will look to the LGBT, and look to those who are expats or who interracially date, and use these four groups as a way to broadband the entire um, black male population within our own group. It's never the facts, which is always bothersome. But yet, when it comes to black women, any amount of facts, it exalts them, and it gets real tiring as a black man to continuously hear someone say that black men need to do better while overwhelmingly disregarding the black men that are trying to do the work. No one wants to talk about I won't say no one wants to talk about any mention of the Detroit 300. It's news. It's a human interest piece, but no one's really like, hey, let's support them. When it comes to the Nation of Islam, the Nation of Islam has their own propaganda mill to put them out there. Same thing with the IUC, IC in group. These are groups of black men trying to do positive things within the neighborhood. Okay, these are organizations run by black people trying to do positive things in the neighborhood, but yet we allow the media to keep propagandizing black men as the most degenerate and most the villainous group of people, and we know it's a propaganda lie, but we keep doing it. We keep wanting to see the negative. That's why it bothers me so much. They're like, we talk about we need to make a space for black men's mental health, but then when there's time for them to be vulnerable and any women around, they want to use our vulnerability against us. And that's what's really pissing me off. We can talk about celebrities like Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, um, Tory Lanez, Chris Brown, DDG. We can talk about them. But if you don't look at them cases individually, you would think they were all the same, and they're not. If you break down how R. Kelly got railroaded, he got railroaded for tax evasion. But we all knew he was a sexual deviant. We didn't understand why he's a sexual deviant until they did a documentary saying, "Hey, I didn't know I was molested as a kid from, I'm not sure it was his cousin or some friend around. No, Lil Wayne." And the reason I jumped to Lil Wayne because Lil Wayne talked about how this 14-year-old girl, while he was 7, taught him how to have sex. And like, come on now, come on now. We talk about protecting black boys and them not being so sexually energized, so sexually charged, and yet we keep ignoring how black boys are being sexually molested. There was a whole movie called Finding Forrester. We want to talk about the environments they grew up in, and when there's any effort to change the environment that black boys are going in, it either gets defunded or it gets destroyed or it gets demonized. Usually, if it comes to demonization, it's either coming from women within that community, and it really bothers me because then when it comes back to anything degenerate, like who is like, okay, young boys going out here shooting guns and everything. We want to blame them and not how they grew up, not in the environment that they grew up. It's like, okay, yeah, we pull a Joe Biden. I don't care how they grew up. I don't care about their environment and how disproportionately poor they're in. I don't want them attacking me now. I didn't care when they were growing up, but now that they're old enough to actually do something and it may reflect negatively upon me, I want to then get involved. And that's always bothered me. That's always bothered me. But I do understand, because I have a little time, I gotta say this. Um, I do understand that black women need to feel protected. I get it. I really do. But what black men are saying and why it really upset them is the fact that we can't protect somebody who doesn't respect our authority. And what I mean by that is you can't put me in charge of protecting you and then disregard the way I'm protecting you. Just this week, there's a video who came out of this woman who walked into a convenience store. She said it was busy. She saw people in line. She saw black men in line. This is a black woman. She walked to the store, and a bunch of coffee holders, where you like your coffee's too hot, you put them on them. Coffee sleeves, there we go, were on the ground. So out of the kindness of her heart, she helped the employee pick them up. Cool. All right. And I can understand she walked back, so I felt really disappointed that no one showed this person any kindness. No, that's not what she did. She got up, started making her coffee, and then, without provocation, other than her own moral righteousness, said out loud, "It's disappointing that our black kings do not help us." And then continued. Now, what made this even worse is that one of those guys confronted her and told her that she basically a bunch of expletives. And even though him going off even to the point to say, "Hey, go outside if you want to, if you really want to, if you really want to do something about it," these men weren't doing anything. They were probably rushing. They probably didn't have time. They probably even didn't notice. They just think she's doing her job. But what gives you the right to go out and chastise people you don't know? And then what made it worse, she said, she changed it from black kings and black men to just saying, I don't demonize all men. I'm married to a Puerto Rican man. So you're not even married to a black man. You're not even married to a black man, but you still think you have the moral legitimacy to chastise other black men? That doesn't make sense. But we have a problem when black men who interracially date. We have a problem with black men who blast black women. But yet, we just simply avoid the conversation of black women bashing black men, either provoked or unprovoked. If it's provoked, it's understandable. If it's unprovoked, and you're interracially dating, saying you can't find a decent black man and whatnot, that's the problem. And I think that's why it bothered me so much. I felt the hurt because one, I have my own situation with my wife, and I think that's where the shame and guilt came in because um being separated from her, I've had time to reflect and know my part of it. But what made me angry is that she will never see it. She will never see it or never see her part in disillusion of our marriage, of our separation. She will never see what she did wrong or what she could have done wrong because she has a circle that told her that she didn't do wrong. She did everything that she said, and that's what really bothered black men when it came to Devontae, because we know that there are black men who will give their heart and soul who have actually died. There was a news report of like a few years back of how these twin influencers caused a scene. One of their boyfriends stole something from them. They called their daddy. He went to go chase the dude, and their dad got killed. There was another one 2 years ago of a basketball player who was sent to jail because he defended himself. Why? Because his ex-girlfriend, who he broke up, tried to break into his house and got her family members to then come in. And that goes into his podcast, Devontae's podcast, because he actually said, and I quote, "Hey, let one of them say that. Let one a black woman say she's in trouble. Watch out for them cousins. Watch out for them uncles. That happens. Aren't those black men coming to protect their relative, their black female relative?" And that's what is so aggravating. Because even within his argument, he's saying black men protect black women. But you can't protect somebody who don't respect you, who don't respect your authority, and honestly just wants to do what they want to do while they get unfettered protection. And black men are not going down for that. They're tired of it. They will protect their family members. They will protect, their significant others, but they're not going to go out of their way protecting strange black women who want to run to fire, who want to run into burning houses. It doesn't make sense anymore, and that's what happens. That's what's happening. Black men will only protect those that respect and actually love them. They're not going to put themselves in danger, especially if they don't understand the entire situation. That's what's going on, and I think that's why it bothers so many people, so many black men. But that's just my take. Y'all have a good day. Take care.